What's up guys, I'm Steven and today we're going to be talking about the new Sims G4 Pros. I'm also going to show you guys how to install the cleats onto the bottom of these. The system's different from the last version of the G4s and kind of give you my initial thoughts on what I think about these, follow up on how these worked out for us and why those are on the table. All right, so first things first, I guess, is this version of the Sims G4 boots did not meet my expectations for this price range of a wading boot, to be honest with you. There were a lot of things that could have been done better. There's some things that weren't that great. There's probably one thing that was good about them is that they were comfortable while I did wear them for the short season that they lasted. I do wear my boots more often than most people because I am a guide here in Southwest Alaska. And so I've got them on pretty much every day, but it also qualifies me to give you real life experience with, what we encountered with the boots. So on these G4s, they had a new system that had an integrated mount for the cleats to screw into, rather than, let's say, these G3s that you hand screw your studs into the bottom of the boots. And it doesn't have any pre-drilled slots, just has some little indicators on where you should put the studs. These were fantastic boots. They got me through most of last year, so I don't have much to say on them. I did replace the BOA after a year of use. It snapped one day out on the river and replaced it, and it's pretty straightforward on how to do that. Secondly, on these, there were a lot of things. These little brass fittings that take the shoelace are very sharp and they've started to pull away from the boot itself. And the laces also frayed rather quickly. This was not even a full 12 months or even 6 months of use. This happened in just a short time from pulling through those little eyelets there. I'm not a big fan of these laces. I don't have my old G4s, but that lace was more similar to what's on the new ones. And hopefully these ones hold up better than these did. And Sims has discontinued these. They're on sale in a lot of places. Perfectly honest with you, I would avoid them. They were comfortable, but aside from that, they just weren't that great. So on to these ones. Initial thoughts on the new G4s is they've made some improvements to a lot of the different areas on the boot. They've got rid of some of that. They had like cheap, I don't know if it was like plastic that was on the side protecting some of the fabric, and it's faded on those. My personal preference is this leather that they use on here, even if it's synthetic or rubber, the stuff they use here on the outside of the boots over this fabric. So I'm not a big fan of that. This likely will catch on rocks and stuff and fray. We'll see how it holds up. They do have nice covering here on the front with some nice rubber and a little bit of leatherette or leather there. They've gone back to what looks like the old laces, not the laces that were on the previous rendition of the G4s. So hopefully this lace holds up better. They've done away with those sharp eyelets. They've gone to these little square black ones. Hopefully they hold up, relatively well. The next thing to note is they've gone to this proprietary system for their cleats. They're specific to this boot. They call it like a power lock cleat. And it's kind of like a half turn and then it kind of locks in. We'll see how that works out. It is unique and you need a special wrench and tool to get them on and off. It's not a Phillips head or even a hex nut that you screw in. And they're very difficult to remove by hand. So you've got to use Sims's special wrench to do it, which I'll show you guys here in just a minute. So those are pretty much my initial thoughts. I haven't even put them on yet. The tread's relatively aggressive. And so I suspect they'll be good boots. I guess the real question will be how long do they last? So let's get right into showing you guys how to put the cleats on. So I've gone ahead and uninstalled all of the aluminum cleats I had on there, and I left one aluminum cleat and one of these TPR cleats. I wanted to point these out. These ship standard with the boot. This is what is underneath the cleats. Sims does not recommend wearing the boots without either the TPR cleats, which they're like a soft plastic or maybe even a really hard rubber, installed, or the aluminum cleats installed. They recommend one or the other. So just to install them, and you can see they're really difficult to remove, and that one is already loosened. That one wasn't even tightened all the way down. So they are difficult to get on and off. almost impossible by hand. This is the wrench that ships with the boots, and this side is for the TPR cleats, and these little teeth sit inside of there like that. And then on the aluminum cleat, there's 3 little teeth that stick in on the screw or on the wrench, and they grab onto the cleat like that. So I will go ahead and install the first one, and then we'll speed up the install of the rest. So start it, and then you'll turn it, and then it locks in, and now it's locked down. So I'll finish up the rest, and I'll wrap up this video. Alright guys, that pretty much wraps up today's video on how to install those cleats on the new Simms G4 Power Lock boots, and I will get back to you guys with a full review after I've had some time to test them out and use them out on the water. And we'll see you guys next Tuesday.